Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka Jalorn33. I'm back with another video on the channel for you guys today. And today, we are talking about Dragon Ball Daima and the introduction of Super Saiyan 4 in Toriyama's main continuity of the Dragon Ball franchise. And today, I'm going to be explaining everything you need to know about this form, its connection to the original Super Saiyan form of Dragon Ball GT, how the transformation occurred, right? Why we don't see it in Dragon Ball Super, and all of that good stuff. So if anybody asks you or comes to you with questions about Super Saiyan 4 in Dragon Ball Daima, the canon version of Super Saiyan 4, send them to this video. This will give them all of the answers they need. Before we get into it, I just want to make it known that I am doing this video right after the release of Dragon Ball Daima Episode 18. We still have 2 episodes left of Daima, so make sure you guys are subscribed so you guys get all of the notifications on every video I produce about Daima. And we could get some more revelations about this form in the next 2 episodes, so I may make a part 2 of this video if the need comes. So just want to let you guys know about that. But without wasting any time, let's get into it. So, Super Saiyan 4, the iconic form of Dragon Ball GT, is now a part of Akira Toriyama's main continuity of Dragon Ball in Dragon Ball Daima. So, why did we get Super Saiyan 4, right? Why is it here? Well, it's pretty simple. If you look at modern day Dragon Ball, and of course we know Daima was right now, we know that Akira Toriyama's last project was Dragon Ball Daima, unless there's something out there that he made before his passing that we don't know about. But for as of right now, Daima was the last project that Akira Toriyama worked on and wrote the script for, right? A lot of modern day Dragon Ball has been influenced by the popularity of certain things from Dragon Ball's past, no matter if Toriyama created it or not. And of course, Akira Uzuki, who's the head of the Dragon Ball room and basically the head producer when it comes to a lot of the modern day Dragon Ball anime, movies, games, all that good stuff, right? He worked very closely with Toriyama, as you should know. And he was the one that basically kind of looked at a lot of the market research and a lot of the things that fans wanted to see come back in modern day Dragon Ball, and went to Akira Toriyama and say, hey, can you turn these things into a story, and make it make sense in the main continuity of Toriyama's Dragon Ball. Most of it is Dragon Ball Super, of course, and of course now with Dragon Ball Daima, right? And that's ideas like, Gohan becoming relevant again in Superhero with, the Beast Gohan form, right? And being the main character of that movie. Broly becoming canon in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, with Toriyama making his own version of Broly, right? Frieza coming back. Trunks coming back in the Future Trunks arc. Us getting an evil Goku with Goku Black in that same arc, etc., etc. And now you're also getting that again here with Dragon Ball Daima, right? Us getting Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. And now, of course, the biggest moment of the show so far, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? Without Akira Uzuki really influencing Toriyama and asking him to, make those ideas a part of his story, it's very unlikely that we would even get this type of fan service. Of course, Dragon Ball is a business at the end of the day, right? And of course, bringing all these new forms and characters into the main continuity of Toriyama's franchise, of course, allows them to make money and merch and, more forms to sell and DLCs of Dragon Ball games and etc., etc., right? We see how much money Dragon Ball makes, whether the anime is going or not. And of course, getting these new forms allows them to make so much more money, to continue Dragon Ball going for ages and ages, right? So that's on the business side / creative aspect, right? Toriyama's version of Super Saiyan 4 is heavily influenced by, of course, the original Super Saiyan 4 from Dragon Ball GT, right? And what's funny is the person who made Super Saiyan 4 in Dragon Ball GT actually works on Dragon Ball Daima as well. When Super Saiyan 4 was introduced in GT 30 years ago, right, that guy who worked on Super Saiyan 4 and created the form, is now working on Daima all these years later. Talk about, the irony in that. So, of course, to understand Super Saiyan 4 Goku in Daima, you have to go look 30 years into the past into the introduction of Super Saiyan 4 in Dragon Ball GT. you guys have to understand the Super Saiyan 4 in GT and the Super Saiyan 4 in Daima are two completely different forms, right? Yes, their appearance is very similar outside of course, right? Daima Goku Super Saiyan 4 stays in his kid form, right? And the colors are different with more of a magenta feel, right? While of course the iconic Super Saiyan 4 from GT, right, has the black hair, the red fur, and all of that good stuff. I'm not really here to talk too much about the appearance, but I want more talk about the actual transformation and the form itself and how it comes to fruition. So of course, back in GT, right, Goku gains this form, right, by, of course, transforming into a golden great ape, which is basically the Super Saiyan version of a great ape. So a great ape that's gone Super Saiyan, and he has to basically control himself, because remember, great apes lose control of themselves most of the time. Goku loses control of himself and starts going into an outrage, right, like an actual monkey. And then, Pan helps Goku regain control of himself. Goku's able to control his mind, and that allows him to transform into a Super Saiyan form. Goku transforms into a golden great ape, basically from the bloat waves that the Earth was giving onto the new planet Tuffle, right? So those blood waves allow Goku to, transform into a golden great ape, and then Goku controlling his mind, allows him to control this golden great ape power and transform into a Super Saiyan 4. So Super Saiyan 4 is the combination of Saiyan power and the power of a golden great ape controlled, right? And if this brings this power that's on a whole nother level from any Super Saiyan form before it, right? And Goku talks about having this primal power, which we're also going to talk about with Super Saiyan 4 Goku here in Daima. So that's basically how Super Saiyan 4 came in GT. The Super Saiyan 4 Goku that you see in Daima is very, very different. There's, in terms of appearance, that's just similarities, but in terms of like how the power comes about, it is very, very different. One thing that I do want to mention here is, of course, the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan form, which is not a canon form. It's not a canon form in GT, but of course, it's influenced by Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan 4. So, of course, Dragon Ball Heroes, the very famous card game, right? Remember a couple years ago, in Dragon Ball Heroes, they decided to give, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta new forms, which is basically limit breaking the Super Saiyan 4 power, right? And then, of course, you can see they have this more magenta color. So those colors heavily influenced the Super Saiyan 4 that you see in Daima with Goku, right? So we can assume that Toriyama, when designing Super Saiyan 4 Goku for Daima, was heavy. Of course, he was influenced mainly by GT Goku Super Saiyan 4, but the colors he probably was influenced by Limit Breaker, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta as well. So going back to it, right, and I have the episode here called up. We won't play it, but I'll mainly just speed through things, so I don't want to risk any copyright trouble. But with Super Saiyan 4, right, one thing that is very, very important to remember, right, because we're going to talk about here why Super Saiyan 4 does not appear in Dragon Ball Super anything. Of course, from a writing, business, creative aspect, we know the main reason is, of course, when Dragon Ball Super first started back in 2015 with Battle of Gods and all that, right, Dragon Ball Daima was not even an idea, right? It wasn't until years later when, Toriyama, who was near the end of his life, of course, right, back in 2021, 2022, when Daima was getting creative, right, Akio Izuku wanted to take a lot of the ideas from GT and then turn it into this story that they could put in the main continuity of Dragon Ball. They brought the idea to Toriyama, and then Toriyama got way more involved than he initially planned to, and basically wrote all this cool stuff explaining the demon realm and all of this amazing lore, right, that we've seen through Daima so far. Right, so of course, the original idea was just to have Goku turn into a kid. in Daima, just like GT. But then Toriyama was like, no, why don't we turn everybody into a kid? Vegeta, Bulma, Piccolo, Supreme Kai, etc. Right? And then of course taking the most popular thing, arguably from GT and Super Saiyan 4, and making it fit into the main continuity, right? But when they created Super Saiyan 4 for Daima, Toriyama and his staff had to figure out a way to make it make sense where it didn't conflict with Dragon Ball Super. Since they decided to place Daima in between the Buu Saga and Dragon Ball Super when Goku meets Beerus, of course, and then learns about God Power, they had to make it make sense for Goku to get this form, but for it not to affect everything coming after it with Beerus, Ultra Instinct, God Power, all that good stuff, right? So if you guys were paying attention to the episode, or if you guys go back and watch the episode after this video or anything like that, it really should make sense how Goku got this power and why he can't use it after Daima. Of course, like I said, I'm making this video 2 episodes before the end of Daima, so like I said, I might have to make a part 2 depending if we get more information, but let me explain it for you. So as we can see, of course, here's Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? He's almost down for the count in his battle against Goma, just like everybody else is. And then here comes Neva, who is one of the most powerful, probably the most powerful Namekian we've ever seen. We've seen him do stuff with his magic power that nobody else can, right? And of course, a big theme of Daima has been the power of magic, right? Goku and the others, they use ki, being from the outside world and being the warriors that they are and using what they've known up to this point, right? But of course, the people in the demon realm, right, they don't call it ki. They basically believe in magic, right? And Neva's magic power has been on display so many times throughout the show. So Neva here, goes over to Goku. Remember, when Vegeta was fighting Tamagami 2 earlier in the show, we saw Neva use his magic power to kind of have Tamagami 2 kind of break his limits and go into discover a power that he wasn't able to do before. And originally when we saw that, we thought that Tamagami 2 was, or Neva could only do that for the Tamagamis, since we knew that Neva created the Tamagamis, right? But no, here we have him doing this for Goku. And basically what happens is, and I'll try to fast forward it, right? Of course, a lot of the stuff you see here in the background, this is just for more artistic impact, so that when you're watching the episode, it looks amazing, right? But in real time here, Neva puts a magic that goes basically into Goku's DNA, his cellular structure, and basically changes his body, right? This is not one thing you guys have to understand. This is not a power that Goku could train for. I've seen some people saying, oh, isn't this a level that Goku could train for? No. This Super Saiyan 4 power in Daima, it's different from GT. Like, Goku could never train to get this power. Like, it doesn't matter if Goku was able to get his tail back or whatever. The only way Goku would be able to reach Super Saiyan 4 in Daima is through Neva's magic. You can't train to get this power, right? In GT, Goku, right, got his tail back and was able to control the power of the Golden Great Ape to transform into Super Saiyan 4. And then, of course, after that, he was able to transform into Super Saiyan 4 at will throughout the rest of GT, right? This version of Goku in Daima cannot reach Super Saiyan 4 again without Neva's magic. Neva's magic basically goes into Goku's cellular structure and causes a mutation, which causes Goku's body to, kind of return to its primal state, right? And then that's how Goku basically gets his tail back and transforms into Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4 Goku in Daima is Neva's magic mixing with Goku's Saiyan biology, right? And basically mutating him and changing him. That's why we see Goku transform and change. He gets the fur. He gets his tail back. His hair turns red. It's a combination of Neva's magic with his Saiyan biology. I will keep saying this. Goku cannot. There's a reason why he can't do this in Super. He cannot access Super Saiyan 4 without Neva's magic. This is not a level that you can train to get. You have to do this with Neva's magic. So as you can see, Neva's magic has an impact on Goku's heart, right? And then you can see basically Goku's cellular structure change, right? The red is basically Neva's magic, and the blue is Goku's Saiyan structure, and you could see it change literally where Goku is, now mutating. It's an impact of, or it's a result of Neva's magic mixing with Goku's Saiyan DNA, which so it's bringing out basically Goku's inner great ape nature. That's why he gets the tail back. So you could kind of say there's similarities with Goku's Super Saiyan 4 with, let's say, Broly's Grade 8 form from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, right? Remember when Broly was able to had the power of a Grade 8 in his human form when he was fighting Goku and Vegeta? There's similarities. They're not the same thing. Make sure you understand that. It's not the same thing, but there's similarities here. You could say there's similarities with Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Daima with Beast Gohan as well. They're not the same, but there's similarities with Goku, Neva's magic basically mutating Goku's body back to its primal state, right? Bringing back the tail and the power of like the great ape. So you could see the mutation taking effect, Goku getting his tail back, and then of course the transformation, right? Which is, of course, absolutely awesome. I'll continue to skip through here. So you can see, of course, this is the result of the mutation. Neva giving Goku his magic, right? Neva did not know that this would cause Goku to transform like this. He knew it would have an effect on him because he wanted Goku to get back into the fight so that they could have a chance to defeat Goma. But Neva did not know that giving Goku his magic would cause him to transform like this, right? How could he know, right? Unless we get more information in the next two episodes, like that Saiyans came from the Demon Realm or something like that. There's no way that Neva could know that giving Goku his magic would cause him to transform into, this new form, this Super Saiyan 4 power, right? It is safe to say that if Neva did this to Vegeta, Vegeta would undergo something similar, and then we would get Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So I don't think we're going to get that here in the next two episodes, but it is safe to say that if Neva did this for Vegeta, we would see Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. That would be the result, right? But the biggest thing to note is Goku cannot access Super Saiyan 4 again without Neva's magic causing that mutation in his body. Unless somehow, right, in the future of Dragon Ball Super, because we've talked about this, right? One of the plans originally when Toriyama was working with Ozoku and the anime staff on Daima, right? One of the things that was planned for the future, of course, was for some of these characters, like probably Glorio and maybe Panji and etc. The plan was for them to return in the future arc, right? So maybe they were going to go back to the Demon Realm, or maybe they were going to come to, Universe 7 and Goku, and then a new story would take place, right? But maybe somehow, for Super Saiyan 4 to return in the future after Daima, maybe somehow, like, say, a small snippet of Neva's magic stayed in Goku's body, tapped away, and then maybe the future somehow either Neva or something else happens where Goku's able to regain access to that magic and then retransform into Super Saiyan 4 that way. That would really be the only way for Goku to regain access to Super Saiyan 4 on his own. But like I said, and I'll keep saying it, Super Saiyan 4 Goku is only possible with Neva's magic. Goku cannot train to access this form. That's really the main reason why you won't see Super Saiyan 4, why we didn't see it against Beerus or anything like that. Even though, of course, Daima was created years after Dragon Ball Super, that's really the main explanation for it, right? So, of course, we get the epic transformation scene, right? The mutation is complete here, and then Super Saiyan 4 Goku is here. So, yeah. Of course, going into it more, right? Right. The main reason, and if I don't really want to get into power scaling here, because probably the most difficult part about power scaling this form is really the evil eye, because that third evil eye, whoever's using it, it does. It's a cheat code, right? We've seen whenever Goma is about to be defeated or about to lose, because Super Saiyan 4 Goku basically had him defeated. the third eye basically revived Goma and gave him the power to basically then de-transform Goku out of Super Saiyan 4. So that third eye, there's no way to repower scale the third evil eye. It's just on a whole nother level. Can you imagine some of the villains of Dragon Ball Super with the third evil eye? If it was available in the outside world, imagine like Frieza, with that, or Moral, or Gas, or etc. Like they would probably be unbeatable, really, at that stage. So, I would say, like, without really getting too deep into it, I don't think Super Saiyan 4 would be strong enough to take on Beerus, for example, or any of the main villains of Dragon Ball Super, because God Ki is on a whole nother level. And it's a reason, and it's also a main reason why even though there's always a chance Super Saiyan 4 could return into the future if Torotaro wants to use it in a future Dragon Ball Super arc. But Dragon Ball Super's main theme is about Goku and Vegeta's increasing power with God Ki, right? From Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego, right? So, and it really wouldn't make sense to go back to like Super Saiyan power. We see Piccolo mention when Super Saiyan 4 Goku first appears, like, what an incredible key. Remember, God Ki cannot be sensed, right? This, Piccolo and the others are able to sense Goku's power here in Super Saiyan 4. So it would be like kind of going backwards. Beerus and Whis have taken Goku and Vegeta on this journey of God Ki. Would it make sense to really go backwards at that stage? No. Unless Torotaro wants to make it some way where Super Saiyan 4 would make sense in the parameters of Dragon Ball Super, I just don't see it returning. I think it's mainly for this battle, of course, for Daima, and of course to be known as the biggest thing of Daima, right? The same way Super Saiyan 4 is what we remember from GT, right? And Ultra Instinct is like what we remember from Dragon Ball Super, along with the other God forms. Super Saiyan 4 Goku here in Daima is going to be the biggest thing we remember from Daima, right? Unless we get something even bigger here in the final 2 episodes. So really, that's the main thing. The biggest thing I want you guys to take away from this video, right? Unless something happens in the future Dragon Ball Super arc where maybe they go back to the demon realm and their powers gets nerfed, and maybe Neva then, or something happens where Goku's able to get that magic power back into his body where he can go back into Super Saiyan 4. I just don't see it in the future right now. There's really no need for it, right? But in terms of where we are right now with Daima, that's the part that's how it makes the most sense. Of course, we'll have to wait for the final 2 episodes of Daima to see, what new information we get from this form, and hopefully they explain it, in universe, so that it makes sense, so that people that are asking these questions can just, go to the episode and see it slated there, right? Why we won't see it in Dragon Ball Super, and hopefully we get that explanation from Neva or from somebody else. But for the terms of this video, that's Super Saiyan 4 Goku explained. Why we see it, how it comes about, right? And why we won't see it in the future in Dragon Ball Super. Why we don't see it against Beerus, etc., etc. So hopefully that explanation makes sense. If you guys have questions in the comment section, let me know. But like I said, if anybody has questions to you about Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Daima, right? Point them to this video. Hopefully the explanation makes sense for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. But let me know your guys' thought in the comment section. About Super Saiyan 4. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't seen my reaction to Super Saiyan 4 Goku in Daima, go check out my video, my episode 18 reaction. It's live on the channel right now. We'll be covering everything else going on with Daima here with its final 2 episodes here in the next few weeks. So make sure you guys are subscribed for that. As always, guys, thank you guys for all the love and support. I will see you guys later. Stay safe and healthy, y'all. Peace.